So the crop, you'll have the crop for 2 months and 2 weeks in the field, and you're done with it.
And you're done. Yeah.
How do I know that whatever I planted, this is baby corn, not the common maize? Because some farmers, there is a farmer who was calling me, telling me that the maize are ready, whether they can harvest them at that milk stage in the name of baby corn. So how do I know this is baby corn and this is maize? How can I tell the difference? Because the leaves and everything looks like a normal maize.
And that's why I'm saying, Fred,
Yes.
before you do anything, you must actually invest in information. Yeah.
You as a farmer, tips. What makes this different from maize? How can I tell this? When you go to the field, how do you tell this is baby corn, this is maize?
Okay.
Know the market and know the business. I'm very lucky to have met this one great farmer who is into baby corn farming. Baby corn farming is one of the simplest farming I've come across, and is doing very great into this baby corn farming. Take a book, take a pen, because I want to take you through step by step of baby corn farming, from planting up to the market, and how you're going to get an international link when it comes to export market. Stay with me and enjoy the full episode. Thank you for the opportunity and taking your time to take me through the process of export farming. How did you start the process of export farming?
Okay, my name is Kevin. You can call me Farmer Kevin. Basically, I've been doing export farming of baby corn for quite a while now, like around 5 years.
5 years?
Yes, and I can't complain. Yes, I actually started small. I was introduced to this kind of farming by a friend, and it is actually a while now. I can't complain.
When you say you were introduced by a friend, was that friend doing export farming, or it was just an idea that you were given by a friend?
A friend of mine was actually doing export farming, but I actually had concentrated so much on French beans production. So he actually introduced me to a friend of his, who is actually the exporter.
Okay.
So you must be linked to the market.
Good.
Yeah. It actually takes a while for you to kind of grow to that stage whereby you can grow your crops and export them by yourself, because it needs so many things. So to avoid that, you can actually be linked with an exporter, and then you work in collaboration with the exporter, so that your products can be sold to
the overseas market.
Yes.
You said you have been into this industry for the last 5 years.
Yes.
And in that 5 years, I'm pretty sure it has been a good progress. You've been progressing how you started up to where you are now.
Yes.
When you started, how was everything? How did you start?
Okay, I basically not actually with a very big piece of land. I started small. I started with around an acre.
Yes.
Whereby that friend of mine, initially, I used to buy seeds. Then after buying seeds, I contact the exporter.
Yes.
He comes and ensure that the seeds that I have purchased is actually what they want. Because in this industry, we have different inputs that actually results in different kind of produce.
Okay.
So the best qualities is what they want. So most of them, most of the export market are very specific when it comes to the kind of seeds, the kind of insecticide, pesticides that you should use.
Okay.
So as we grew together with the exporter, it has actually reached a point whereby he actually provides me with the seeds.
Okay.
Because that is what he wants, yeah? And then before I actually do anything, I must actually consult him. But because of the trust that we have created with him, and I also went to school to study agriculture, so I know the processes. There's no need. I have actually acquainted myself with, familiarized myself so much with the export market. So I know their requirements. So it has actually been easy for me after about 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so I knew the market, what they wanted.
As you speak, your relationship with the exporter or the market that you're working with, you usually get all the inputs from them.
Okay.
Or quite a good number of inputs from them.
Basically, what I get from them is actually the seeds.
The seeds.
Yes.
And the seed is, in most cases, is what matters in the export industry.
Very much.
So does it mean the seed you get from exporters is not readily available in the local market?
So basically, it is good you get it from the exporter.
From the exporter.
Yes, because you find that in the market, we have so many types of seeds.
Yes.
Yes, and you know, there is also some unscrupulous seed producers. Yeah.
Yes.
They can actually give you a seed, and you know, most of the time, if you are a new farmer, you can't even differentiate the seed of baby corn and the normal maize.
The normal maize. Yeah.
Yes, you can imagine you buying a seed locally, and it's very expensive. And then after planting, you realize that the seed is not actually the best quality.
Okay.
Or it has been pollinated. Yeah, it has some few grains and tassels of maize. So you do 1 acre, and then you realize it's actually the bigger percentage is actually the common maize.
The common maize.
You see?
Yes.
Nobody will actually buy that. And then it will cost you so much because baby corn seeds are almost 4 times the cost of the normal maize.
Okay.
So it will cost you a lot. So it is good first you get the seeds from the exporter. In case of anything, the one to blame will be the exporter.
It's the exporter.
Yeah, so he will actually have no choice but to pay you for the losses, or actually will cater for everything that you will have actually used.
Okay.
Yes, so I prefer seeds from the exporter.
From the exporter.
Yes.
For a farmer to get the market, because I understand their specification there that says the quantities of seed needed, and also the planting period or the planting schedule, so that you can be consistent in supplying. So with your exporter, what are the specifications? What has made you to have that good relationship with your exporter up to date?
First, Fred, we must know something about farming. If there are actually people who are very patient in this life, or in this world we live in, are farmers. Yeah.
True.
And if you want to succeed as a farmer, you must actually do your due diligence when it comes to anything before you actually decide to invest in planting anything.
Yes.
You must do your due diligence. You must actually follow up and get enough information before you indulge in any kind of farming.
Yes.
And then also you must be patient because there are things here you cannot actually grasp. Just immediately you are introduced to maybe export market, and you do your first harvest and you expect you do your first cropping, and then you expect a lot of miracles. Yeah. So you first get the link, you do your due diligence, because I've realized the most important thing when it comes to farming is actually where to take your
farm produce.
Exactly.
Yes. That's the biggest deal.
That's the biggest deal, and that is why you must start with contractual farming, getting the exporter.
Yes.
You know the requirements, and then the exporter will actually come, assess your piece of land, and then he can actually give you a go ahead. And for the first maybe 2, you need experts. First, maybe 2 or 3 plantations you'll do. You need somebody who will actually guide you through, and then from there you can actually proceed with it.
Okay.
Yes, so that is what I did. I got somebody who took me through. I gave me a link to the exporter.
Yes.
And then from there, I think I became an expert.
You are an expert. You are an expert by profession and also expert by experience.
By experience.
That's a good move.
Yes.
So also, I wanted to know the consistency in the deal that you are in. Do you just farm consistently, or it's a seasonal kind of farming where you decide when to farm and when not to farm? How is the agreement between you and the export?
Consistency is everything also.
Yes.
They say the water, the raindrops,
Yes.
breaks a stone,
Yeah.
not by force, but by actually lofty drops.
Lofty drop.
Yes, because it actually, that persistence,
Yes.
every now and then. You cannot come to this industry. You actually seen in the social platforms, the social media, how agriculture actually pays off.
Yes.
We have millions in the soil. We have gold inside the soil here.
Yes.
So you just do one farming or you do one crop and
Yes.
expect some miracles. No. What you do is actually consistency. Like what I usually do, we have an arrangement with my exporter, in that he provides so many seeds. Like he can actually give me for 1 acre, we only require 5 kgs.
5 kgs of
5
seed.
kgs.
Yes.
So when he brings me the seeds, he can actually give me like 40 kgs of seeds. Now, these 40 kgs,
Yes.
I will actually plant them in an interval of about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
So when I do that, you realize that I will actually harvest throughout the year. Yeah? So one piece, maybe if I have like 10 acres,
Yes.
so I do 1 acre today,
Yes.
I wait for another 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then after 2 weeks,
Yes.
I do another planting. Why? Because you realize when the crop tassels,
Yes.
harvesting starts. Like where we stand here.
Yes.
Where we are standing here, this is actually one of my farms. You see, tasseling has begun.
Yes.
It is ready for harvest.
Okay.
We are supposed to be harvesting maybe on Monday.
Yes.
You see? So after 2 weeks, you realize we will have actually exhausted. We will finish actually harvesting 1 acre. And then immediately after 2 weeks, we have another piece that will begin harvesting. So you'll find that consistency, that the gap will allow us to actually harvest throughout the year.
Okay.
So consistency is the key. You don't do it when maybe somebody says we do the off-peak season. I don't know. No. That will not help you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
In your case, you have baby corn from January to December. You usually have the crop.
Yes.
Wow, that's a very good move, because also we have quite a good number of farmers who are blindfolded by the peak or when the market is very good. That when they come to the market to farming, then after that they go crying.
Yeah.
But from your confidence and the advice you're advising them, it's better to be consistent.
Yes.
So that means when you're getting into this, investment is a must.
You must invest.
You must invest in
Yes.
that. Okay. When you get your seed, how do you start? Because I understand it's not raining throughout the year.
Yeah.
How is your procedure from starting point to when now you start harvesting? How is the procedure?
Okay, let me take you through briefly.
Yes.
From A to Z, what I do. Yeah. One, Fred, we start with land preparation. Land preparation is very important.
Yes.
And then the kind of seeds, harvesting stages and stuff.
Yes.
So we do land preparation first, initial land cultivation using a tractor. And then we do what is called farrowing.
Farrow irrigation.
Yes.
To make farrows.
We do make farrows.
Yes.
Because most of the time what I do, I don't depend on rainfall fed agriculture.
Yes.
Because if you do that, it means that even the period for production will actually be less.
Yes.
And as I've told you, I do my planting throughout the year. So what I do prepare the land.
Yes.
And then most of the time we don't harrow.
Yes.
Then we make our farrows using the tractor. And then there's something called farrow setting. Farrow setting is whereby you make some about 3 meters.
Yes.
And then you do some
you block. Yes.
So that you can retain water.
Okay.
You make some small basins.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's called farrow setting. So after farrow setting, it is around 3 days from plowing. Yes. And then after that, I do my planting.
Okay.
And I do my planting after getting my seeds. I do soak my seeds.
Okay.
overnight. So if you do soak your seeds overnight, the seeds will actually imbibe water.
Yes.
And then after doing that, they will take a very short duration to actually emerge.
Okay.
Yeah. So after soaking my seeds overnight,
Yes.
I do plant them. And with baby corns,
Yes.
the planting gap or the planting population,
Yes.
planting population or the plant population is very high. And the spacing between one crop and the other is actually very small as compared to maize.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are interested with the cobs. We are not interested with the grain. Yeah. So you can see the spacing is very small.
Yes.
Around 20 centimeters
From one plant to the other.
One plant to the other.
Then there's from line to line.
From line to line, I usually do. It depends with now the tractor.
Yes.
And most of the time, the tractor leaves a gap of about 60 centimeters.
60 centimeters.
Yeah. So I do 20 by 60. Yeah. And then after doing that, after planting, it takes around 7 days. Give it 7 to 10 days. But after you've planted, it will take exactly 7 days. And then the seeds will actually emerge.
Okay.
Yeah. After that, I give it about a room of a period of about 7 days after emergence. After 7 days, within those 7 days, you will have actually seen if you need to do gapping. You will actually do it before you provide any fertilizer. You do gapping and such. So the 14th day after planting, I actually incorporate my base tracer. That is fertilizer that is actually rich in phosphorus. Yeah. So that you can actually establish or help the crop establish actually a good and healthy and more fibrous kind of roots. So when the roots are developed well, it's actually where the crop feeds through. So when the roots are good and healthy, the plant will automatically be very healthy. Yeah? That's on the 14th day after planting. And then I wait for about 1 month. After about 1 month, I do my top dress.
The first top dress.
The first top dress.
Yes.
Yeah. That's 1 month after what? 1 month after planting.
Yes.
Or 21 days after emergence.
After emerging.
Yes. So I do my top dress. And when I do my top dress, I use fertilizers that are rich in nitrogen. Most of the time they are balanced: nitrogen, phosphorus, and also potassium. So that we need potassium for the development of the tassel, and also for the development of the cob. Yes. So I do, and we need a lot of nitrogenous fertilizer because, as you can see, this plant is actually a heavy feeder.
I can see.
And you can see how the green, the leaves are very green. So they require a lot of nitrogen to build this chlorophyll. So that they can actually make their own food through photosynthesis, and then eventually it will trickle down to the formation of good crops. Yeah. So that's what I do, and then I wait for about another 2 weeks. And then I do my second top dress, just to help the plant actually grow very well, and so that I can have a very heavy, because the cobs are usually sold according to the weight.
To the weight. You sell the cobs according to the
weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, an important point I need to know, how long will the baby corn plant or the baby corn field take from planting up to when you do your first harvesting? And how many harvesting? Because like I can see, I'm seeing single and double corns in each and every stem. How many corns do we harvest out of every single stem?
Okay.
Yes.
In fact, let me finish with the practices. Those are just basics of the cultural practices that we need.
Yes.
And then after a while, we do our harvesting.
Yes.
And then we have also control of pests and such, which we'll actually talk about. But basically, from the planting, from planting
Yes.
to harvesting,
Yes.
it only takes 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Those are purely 60 days.
Those are 60 days.
Yes.
It only takes 2 months.
Like,
Like what you are seeing here,
yes.
this is actually 63 days old.
So you are late by 3 days.
I'm late by 3 days. And because of logistics, and we were actually in the festive season.
Yes.
Yes. So it takes 2 months. And if there is actually that prolonged drought kidogo, whereby there is some shortage of water,
Yes.
it will take up to 70 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically 2 months
2 months.
from actually sowing our seeds to our first harvest.
It takes 2 months.
2 months, 60 days.
Yes. Then the consistency of harvesting. How often do you harvest, and how many cobs does each plant give you?
Now, basically, we expect maize. The baby corn is slightly different from maize.
Yes.
When you see like what we have here, when you remove one cob, you'll actually see behind these leaves,
Yes.
we have some small shoots here,
Yes.
whereby we are expecting the cobs to emerge.
Yes.
If you go down, you realize we have several. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
You see?
Yes. Yes.
5.
Yes.
As the plant actually grows after tasseling,
Yes.
each
Each leaf.
will actually be producing a cob.
Okay.
Yeah. So you realize that from one stem we can even do 6 harvests and a maximum of 8.
6 and 8.
6 and 8.
That is when we are talking of good production.
When you have good production,
Yes.
when you have actually feed your crops very well,
Yes.
you expect actually to do like 8 harvests.
Okay.
Yes. So it's not like maize, whereby you leave it to, you'll actually give it time to form the grains,
Yes.
and then you only harvest once. And if you actually fed your maize very well,
Yes.
you'll have a maximum of maybe 3 crops.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in this case, we can actually do 6 to 8 harvests.
To 8 hours.
Yes, per stem.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
And now when we talk still on harvesting,
Yeah.
how many tons are we expecting in an acre?
Okay. I'll not exaggerate.
You don't. You are the farmer.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll give you what I've actually experienced.
Yes.
And,
What you've achieved.
what I've achieved.
Yes.
I've actually achieved about 6.5 tons.
6.5.
6.5 tons.
So
That's the
roughly, when, because you are talking to other farmers who want to get into this.
Yes.
For a farmer to be for the business to be viable.
Yes.
At what range now should a farmer make sure that they achieve, so that they can be economically viable in terms of the business?
Okay. When you do 5 to 6 tons,
Yes.
you are good.
5 to 6 tons.
5 to 6. It's
Below
achievable.
5, you make
Below
losses.
5,
Not very good.
the profit margin is very small.
Very small.
Yes.
But above 5,
5, you are good. You have done your best.
can we go up to 8 tons? Is it possible?
You can. You increase. I've told you, the baby corn doesn't have an issue of competition between plants. Yeah. That is why even the planting, we do them very squeezed.
Yes.
So it doesn't have that issue of competing for nutrients and stuff like
Yes.
maize.
Yes.
So you can actually increase your plant population. You do your plant population, you increase it,
Yes.
and you can actually achieve up to about 8 tons.
Okay.
Yes. So you increase your plant population,
Yes.
and then when you increase your plant population,
Yes.
because of the number, you have to feed your crops very well.
Okay.
Yes.
So talking of feeding,
Yeah.
you've mentioned that I've calculated the three feeding that you do.
Yeah.
You do the planting fertilizer.
Yeah.
First top dress, second top dress.
Yes.
Then after, when we start harvesting,
Yeah.
do we need also to do another top dress, or the top dress we've done or the feeding we've done is enough for the crop?
Fred, you realize the harvesting period is very short.
Okay.
The harvesting period is around 2 weeks and you're done.
Okay, so the 8 crops you're talking about is not a monthly
No.
thing. It's within 2 weeks.
A span of 2 weeks.
So the crop, you'll have the crop for 2 months and 2 weeks in the field, and you're done with
And
it.
you're done.
Okay, so
yeah.
there is no more feeding.
No more feeding.
Ah,
And then-
interesting.
yes, and that is why. And then you also sell your stovers, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at a very, in fact, where we are here, stovers actually fetch very good price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what you'll do,
Yes.
you feed your crop.
Yes.
The feeding, the 3 feedings,
Mm-hmm.
or the 3 fertilizer application
Yes.
should actually be within
Mm-hmm.
a span of 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you begin your harvesting, you're
Yes.
not even supposed to incorporate any fertilizer,
Mm-hmm.
because after 2 weeks you'll actually be done with your harvesting,
Uh-huh.
or actually the crop.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand in every business there is a challenge.
Yes.
And baby corn farming is not limited to challenges. It's an part of agriculture. So, you as a farmer, what challenges do you face when it comes to baby corn farming?
Okay. I do face some challenges.
Mm-hmm.
One, the challenges. One, I can say one of the challenges brought by weather.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it rains so much,
Mm-hmm.
you find that accessibility of the vehicles that use the lorries used to carry our crop. We don't have good roads around,
Yes.
so we face a lot of challenges
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to transportation of our products.
Yes.
That is one.
Mm-hmm.
Second, we have the challenge of pests and diseases.
Okay.
We have some diseases
Mm-hmm.
that are very prominent, and they are actually very high during
Mm-hmm.
the hot weather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I've told you, I do crop production
Throughout the year.
year.
Yes.
So you find that when it rains so much,
Yes.
we have a problem with accessibility of vehicles to come and pick our products.
Yes.
Second, when it is very hot,
Mm-hmm.
you find that we have diseases that are actually carried by plant pests
Yes.
that are very common during the dry season. And
Okay.
some of those diseases are viral.
Mm-hmm.
When they attack your crop, you cannot actually, there is no any mitigative measure
Mm-hmm.
when they get into your crop. You have to do rogging.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yes.
That is another thing.
Yes.
The third challenge is actually the issue of pests and diseases,
Mm-hmm.
especially pest. Yeah, we have a very notorious pest here, the fall armyworm.
The follow me, yes, I know.
If you are not careful,
Mm-hmm.
they can actually bring a lot of destruction and reduce your produce tremendously. Yes.
To a new farmer who's just done baby corn,
Yeah.
away from now the challenges.
Yeah.
I also know this is a challenge.
Yeah.
How do I know that whatever I planted, this is baby corn, not the common maize? Because some farmers, there is a farmer who was calling me, telling me that the maize are ready, whether they can harvest them at that milk stage,
Yeah.
in the name of baby corn. So how do I know this is baby corn and this is maize? How can I tell the difference? Because the leaves and everything looks like a normal maize.
And that's why I'm saying, Fred,
Yes.
before you do anything, you must actually invest in information. Yeah.
So yes, so
You
that
need to
you as a farmer, tips. What makes this different from maize? How can I tell this? When you go to the field, how do you tell this is baby corn, this is maize?
Okay, we have physical assessment that we
Yes.
can do.
Yes.
If you look around,
Yes.
you realize when our maize or when our baby corn is about to tassel,
Yes.
the formation of the
flower.
male, yeah, the male part
yes,
of
the male
of
part
crop,
of it.
yeah?
Yes.
So we have the male and the female,
Yes.
the silk and the tassel. Yeah?
Yes.
So when it is about to form the male part of the flower,
Yes.
you realize that the 4 leaf here,
Yes.
is actually straight. You can see it.
Looks like
It
a
looks
spear.
like a spear.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
If you look across, or actually across our farm,
Yes.
you
Yes.
realize that most of them have not yet tasseled, but
But
the leaf,
looks like a spear.
it looks like a spear,
Aha.
and they have actually pointed
Up.
sharp
Yes.
up, yeah, unlike the maize,
Yes.
yeah. And then the second thing, if you look at the tassel, the cob
Yes.
after formation of the silk,
Yes.
you know, it's very different. For the maize, look at this. Look at this.
Yes.
This one is very different from the maize. You see?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. You realize at this stage, when you do maize, the lines have not yet formed for the
Sure.
maize.
Yeah.
It's just a very big cone.
Yes.
And then it is actually, for the maize is conical in shape and very big.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
But you see, this is the economic part of the baby corn. It has lines.
Yes.
And it's very small.
Yeah.
It's very small and very young.
Yes.
And you can see the lines,
Yeah.
Where the kernels are supposed to form.
The lines are very visible.
They are very visible.
Yes.
But the stature itself, the size is very small. And then, like when you do SG, when you taste the cob, it's very sweet.
Very true.
Yeah. You cannot compare it with the maize.
The maize cannot have such a taste.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. So from the physical assessment, just at a glance, you look at the pointed tip.
The pointed tip.
During the tasseling.
Also the silk.
And then the silking. At the silking stage, the silk, the color of the silk depends on the variety.
Okay.
Yes.
So the white silk is not it's not common to all baby corn.
No, it's not actually a sign that this is baby corn or it's
maize can also give such a color.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but the pointed shape here
is
actually very unique to baby corn.
Do the local market give you a space for baby corn, or the baby corn you're farming is purely for the export market? Do locals consume baby corn?
Basically, baby corn production is purely for export.
For export market.
For export.
That's why you need a link even
before you
start. You start farming.
Baby corn purely is actually for export.
Okay.
Because the local market, locally they don't consume baby corn. Yes. In fact, they have very little knowledge of consuming the cob. It's funny, they do a lot of production of baby corn, but locally it's not being consumed. Yes.
To the farmer who want to start, to the young farmers who is thinking of starting this kind of adventure.
Yes.
What is your advice to them?
My advice is go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Period. You've heard it from our farmer, Kevin, our farmer, who is into this industry for the last 5 years, and his parting shot is very simple. Don't fear. Go for it. This is a new year, so go for it.